If I did not receive personal notification of this meeting, but I am waiving that notice by being present tonight, can one of the council members who called this meeting tell me if Councilman Sabag received personal notice of this meeting?
Madam Mayor, let me defer to the attorney, because I think that was clarified at the hearing that we had just left. Am I right?
It obviously was a point of
Mr.
ruling.
Powell, I'm asking the council a question at this point in time. I've asked them if any of them can verify. So if you'll please, you can have your opportunity to advise them if you want. But right now, I'm asking council a question.
I appreciate.
If you could please have a seat until we get to the appropriate time.
Authority in terms of decision making, in terms of procedure.
Mr. Powell, if you would please have respect for the chair, I'm asking the council a question at this point in time, and if they want to advise you, if they want to ask you for advice, they can do so. But at this point in time, I'm trying to just call the meeting to order. So if you could please have a seat at this point in time, okay?
And I have a duty as city attorney to advise the council on the subject matter that's been raised, and that is notice of meeting. It is a contested issue as far as the subject matter and the meeting itself. And
Mr. Powell, can you, if you want to give the advice, I'll ask you the questions. If you'll just answer the questions instead of going off on a tangent. We don't need any political speeches from an attorney tonight, okay? Does our charter, excuse me, Mr. Powell, does our charter require personal notice for a special called meeting?
Respectfully, Mayor, respectfully, my duty to advise the council that to put on the record the methodology for how the meeting was called and the methodology for service is very important, and to have this council make a finding as to how that service was done and verify every part of that by the authority of the city council by vote to affirm notice was properly given.
Mr. Powell, could you please answer the question? Does our charter require personal notice for a special called meeting?
So that council
Mr.
and
Powell,
mayor,
could you please answer the question? Does our charter require personal notice for a specially called meeting?
Respectfully, Mayor, the charter in calling a meeting is section 2.19, and the ingredients of that special call are this: that on the call of 3 members of the city council, and as we go through that, I'm assuming 3 members of the city council did notify the clerk and the city manager that had been done.
Mr. Powell, I'm asking you about personal notice. We've already established that this has been called by 4 members of council. We've already put on the record that Councilwoman Kraus, Councilman David Emanuel, Mayor Pro Tem Witz, and Councilman Howard called this meeting. That's not the issue. The issue is if someone can please certify before we begin this meeting if personal notice has been served upon Councilman Sabag, since he is not here tonight. Can you state in your place that you have personally served Councilman Sabag with notice? Have you personally served him?
Notice of the special call meeting.
Mayor, excuse me, Mr. Powell, can you please answer the question? Have you served?
I am answering the question.
It's a yes or no question. You can explain yourself all you want after you answer the question. Have you can you state in your place that you have personally served Councilman Sabag with personal notice, either face-to-face or via telephone? Have you done that?
It does not require the description.
Have you done that, Mr. Powell?
The description does not require what the mayor's question is. The description is this.
Okay, but I'm not asking you what it requires. I'm asking you if you've done that. Have you done that?
Notice of such special meeting shall be served on all members. Shall be served on.
Mr. Powell, you're making a mockery of this meeting.
Personally.
I'm trying to run the meeting and get us started, but you're making a mockery of what's going on here. Can you please answer the question, Mr. Powell? This doesn't have to be painful. It's a yes or no question. Have you personally given notice to Councilman Sabag to be here tonight?
At least 24 hours in advance of the meeting. Now, it's my duty to inform you of what the call and how it's accomplished. That is my duty, and it has been placed in issue in a court this evening, and it is your duty to find how that was done. Now, I didn't do that.
Okay. Thank you for the answer, Mr. Powell. Mr. Powell, please be seated. At this point in time, I'd like to call the meeting, but I need to get some information from council, which you have just said you did not personally do, so you cannot give me any firsthand information. So if you will please sit down and allow me to ask council.